In another video, we learned how to slope the terrain using the elevation tools, elevation points, lines, splines, regions, and terrain breaks. In this video, we'll learn how to slope specific areas of your terrain for landscaping features such as raised garden beds or lowered ponds or streams. We'll start here by going to the Raised and Lowered Region tools and select a raised region, and then click and drag a rectangle where I want to form the region. A raised region is a closed elevation spline. I'll select that raised region and open it up for specification. In the Raised or Lowered Region Specification dialog, you can assign the elevation height in relation to the terrain itself. Here, the height is assigned as 36 inches. I'll leave it there and click OK. In my camera view, you can now see that I have a raised region on one side of the terrain. On the other side of the terrain, I'll create a lowered region. Again, we'll select the edge of the lowered region and open it up for specification. Here you can see that it's assigned a negative number. This will lower this region down below the terrain itself. When I go back to the perspective full overview, you can now see that there's a lowered region on this side and a raised region on this side. You also have terrain features, such as rectangle features, splines, kidneys, and terrain holes. Chief has also created some convenient terrain features with landscaping materials previously assigned, like garden beds, which are assigned a bark type material, or ponds that are assigned water type materials. Other terrain features include terrain walls, roadways, driveways, sidewalks, and terrain paths. I'll select the Straight Sidewalk tool and then click and drag a sidewalk across both my raised and lowered regions. In my perspective full overview, you can see that the sidewalk actually follows the terrain slope. All of the terrain features do this. In the Terrain Feature Specification dialog, you can change the height of this terrain feature. I'll change this to 4 inches, and you can see that it still follows the slope, but maintains a 4-inch height above the terrain. I'll go back to my floor plan view and delete the sidewalk. You can create raised or lowered terrain features by combining the raised and lowered regions and the terrain features. I'll select the Round Garden Bed tool, click and drag an area where I want to start the garden bed, and then shape it with the edit handles to fit the raised region. When I go to the camera view, you can see now that my raised region is completely covered by the garden bed bark material. Then we'll go back to the floor plan and use a pond feature in the lowered region. Back in my camera view, you can see now that I have a water material in that lowered region. You also have other features like terrain walls. I'll select the tool and then just simply click and drag a straight terrain wall, and then go back to my camera view. You can see that the terrain wall follows the slope, but it also maintains its own height. I'll open this up and lower this terrain wall down to 48 inches. You can also change the materials by going to the Materials tab and selecting a different material. So by using terrain features, you can add variety and detail to your landscape projects.